Yep, my name is Derek Brooks. I'm the currently owner of Brandywine Printing. My dad started the company back in 1982. He started in our basement, and this is our third location if we count the basement as one of those locations. So he still comes in every day. He's here today. He's in his mid-70s. He comes here because this is a good place for him to play solitaire and Sudoku, but that's about it. He's not active in the business at all, but he loves to come in here and see what he ultimately built. So we're a 100% digital print shop today. Now, we started in the offset business, or offset world. In 2010, 2012, we transitioned, sold all our presses, all our plate makers, we kept our folder and our cutter, but everything else from the offset days is gone. We now have Ricoh digital equipment on the sheet fed side. We have EFI 16H Pro on the wide format side. Everything we do is digital, and we love doing the short run, high quality stuff. That's generally, we tell people we're in the high quality marketing material space. I ended up bringing in my wife, who had zero experience in printing production. And that's what I needed, because I was trying to untrain my other guys to operate the new digital equipment, and she didn't have to be untrained. So we started her from zero in 2012, and it was just a part-time test to see how that was going to work. And here we are in 2023, and she's still my full-time sheet-fed digital operator in the back. And she's had some help, but she makes those things sing. I don't even know how to turn them on. 2019, we did 50% more revenue with 4 people than we did in 2008 with 10 people. So I realized the more we can automate, the more revenue we can generate, the more people we can help, the more everything was scaled larger. And then I said, okay, if production equipment, the physical equipment making the products, can be automated, it's all automated because software is driving it. How can we automate on the front end? Because now our bottleneck is prepress. If we're doing more work, the throughput can only do so much until we can get more into production. And so prepress was the bottleneck, and that's when we started automating our prepress side of things. So we partner with Ricoh. Ricoh is where we buy a lot of our equipment, whether it's Ricoh brand or not. They've got a lot of relationships. And we went to them. I was literally looking for one thing. I wanted to automate our proofing process. Our proofing process was emailing a proof to a customer, putting that email that we sent in a folder, waiting for that approval. When it was approved, we would move it to an approved folder. But it really didn't, what I needed was an archive. I needed to save I needed a record of what was approved, so that if in 30 days somebody calls and says, hey, this job is wrong, we could go back to that archive and easily say, here's where you approved it. And when we were doing it with the email, sometimes you skip a step. That's when things are going to go wrong. And the only way you can skip a step is if you're human. And so I said, I got to take the humans out of this and have some sort of automated system. And that was literally the only thing I was looking for. And I found the review module from Enfocus, and through Ricoh, they turned me onto it. And then from there, I didn't even know about Switch, but I did know about PitStop. We'd been using PitStop for years. So I don't remember when we discovered PitStop or how we discovered PitStop. But I can tell you, if you took PitStop out of our life, we would not be able to operate. We use it not daily, we use it hourly. I mean, we use it constantly. Our prepress doesn't open a PDF in any program other than PitStop. And we can see everything we need to within PitStop. So it's a deal breaker for us not to have PitStop. It's a crutch that we can't do without. I ran into another print shop owner last week, and we were talking about best practices and things that have worked really well for us. And I said, well, we use PitStop for this, whatever. And he said, no, what is PitStop? And I said, wait a minute, you don't use PitStop? And he said, I've never heard of it. And I'm like, I don't know how you can do what you're doing without PitStop. it literally is the lifeblood of how we manage files here. It's unbelievable. So yeah, can't live without it. So if we can take what PitStop already does well and improve it with Switch, that makes sense. And then we can add this PDF review module, which is what I was ultimately looking for. This will all make sense. And so it really, once my eyes were open to the power of Switch and what it can do and how it can make my existing software talk to each other. I mean, from our online ordering process all the way through our finishing equipment can all be in a flow in Switch. And it made a lot of sense to me. And so that's when we pulled the trigger with Switch. Rico made it totally accessible for us. And it's super easy. I can contact, I actually edited this flow this morning because now we've worked in it enough and we had a team member said, you know, it'd be really cool if it did this instead of that. And so before we processed a job this morning, I went in and tweaked this and now it's doing exactly what she wanted. It's definitely intuitive once you start messing with it. Yeah, regarding the ship and label flow that we have, before we had Switch managing those ship and labels, it was literally a 2-hour process for us to take all of those ship and labels, impose them the right size, the right direction, all of that. 2 hours, twice a week. Now I literally drop the folder of labels into the input folder. It emails my production girl that they're ready, and 2 minutes later they're ready to print, literally. So unbelievable savings in time. We've got a lot. So our wide format business, we didn't offer wide format before 2013. So we're 10 years into our wide format. It's now 50% of our business. And we're constantly growing with that. Next, we don't do any CNC cutting now, but we need to. I'm outsourcing a lot of that. So I plan to bring that in-house next. I'm excited to see how Switch is gonna help us with that. That's the cool thing about Switch is I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know what it can do until I try. And every time I call, Anna is my contact over at Rico, and every time I call Anna and say, hey, can we do this with Switch? She just says, yeah. So yeah, wide format is definitely where we're focused right now.